Murph, a 33-24 win over Doncaster this afternoon. That was a bit of a roller coaster, but to get a bonus point win is fantastic for the boys, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Credit to Donny. Thought they were powerful in their carries, and in that first half towards the end they just kept coming wave after wave, and it was really stressing us indeed. But yeah, the boys really dug in and we came in with a good win in the end with a bonus point.
Are they the kind of wins you look back on at the end of the season? But perhaps not at our best, but it's just so important to keep winning, isn't it? And that was certainly shown in that second half.
Yeah, I think so. You always get the odd game or two in the season where you think, oh, that was probably a bit closer than we would have liked, but yeah, we showed a lot of heart. It's been a lot of injuries, and yeah, the boys that are out there today put in everything, so it's a good result.
Yeah, how hard did we have to work, and also just in terms of grit and determination? They obviously went in front with only 10 or so minutes to go, so to come back with right at the end is fantastic.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you got Range Mid playing in the rows. He looks like a natural in that position. He won't thank me for saying, but no, like, boys are playing out of position with the injury list, and it was just good to put in a good strong team performance and come away with an excellent win.
Yeah, if we go back to the start, 14-0 up after about 10-15 minutes, it looked like it was going to be a fairly kind of positive day at the office, but Doncaster certainly came back. You kind of mentioned it already, but they obviously went in front just before half time, and it was pretty hard to cope with, wasn't it, I imagine?
Yeah, it was just, you know, they went to their power game, which was something we targeted at the start of the week, that we had to shut down, and we just let them back into it too much for 20 minutes or so towards the end of the half. But credit to the boys, we came back strong. A lovely line from Corn Dog to put us ahead, and then rain powering over. It was a great try at the end. So yeah, very, very pleasing.
How obviously the rain came down an awful lot at half time. How important was that early try in the second half to get us level, just to kind of ease the pressure?
Yeah,
perhaps?
Massively. You don't want to be slogging it out, really. Credit to Loz, I think at 10 he was really good with the game control, put us in the right areas, and then when it was time to go, we went back to our power game, strong forward runners around the corner, and yeah, managed to sneak ahead.
You mentioned it already, in terms of the amount of injuries we've got, it's almost unprecedented. So how hard's the squad having to work at the moment?
Well, mate, to be honest, I've been out for 2 months with one of them, so yeah, the boys have been digging in, I think, really hard, and they've done really well, and they put themselves in a great position.
What did we do differently in those last 10 minutes? Because as soon as Doncaster got that penalty to go in front, we just looked like a different side. The tempo just seemed to come out of nowhere, basically. Yeah,
it's a weird one, really. We sort of said in the huddle that we don't need to go behind to start sort of playing well, and that's how it looked towards the end. But I'd rather be sort of let that happen and then come away with a win than not have it at all. But we need to look at keeping that intensity for 80 minutes.
On a personal note, man of the match, 2 tries, must be delighted. It's obviously been a road to recovery, but you certainly look like you're fully on the mend now.
Yeah, mate, it's probably been the hardest 2 months I've had with injury, with the concussion. It's not something you can really put a time frame on, so it's frustrating. But yeah, last week was a bit of a feeler to get back into it, and then this week I was feeling a bit more like myself, so I'm happy with the performance.
Down to Pirates next weekend, always a tough one. Looking forward to that one as well.
Oh mate, that'll be a very tough game. Yeah, they're a fantastic side, and they're particularly dangerous at home, so we need to be better than we were today, but I'm sure we can go there and hopefully get the win.
Well done, mate.
Cheers.
33-24 win over Doncaster this afternoon. I assume there's a rather large sigh of relief after that one.
Yeah, we weren't our best today, but sometimes you've got to come through and win the game. Credit to Donny, they're a tough team to play, and when they get some momentum, they've got some big boys and they're tough to stop.
I guess that pleases you, just the fact how hard we had to work, and just in particular those last 10 minutes, the kind of character the boys showed was outstanding, wasn't it?
Yeah, first 20 we were reasonable, but the second half I thought we were pretty good at times. We had a bit more control back, and when we picked up the tempo, they struggled to cope with that as well.
Let's go back to the start. A fantastic start, wasn't it? 14-0 after kind of 10 or 15 minutes, but then a pretty significant drop off in that second quarter, and we went into half time trailing, what was it, 21-14. Any particular reason for that kind of drop off, do you think?
Pure sloppiness. I think the players, we said it at half time, we've got good players, it's our own undoing. We've just got to be better when we've got the ball, and then we're a little bit sloppy when we turn that ball over to react to that as well. I
guess that gives you something to show in the fact that it was 14-0, had a couple of chances, and then all of a sudden we concede a penalty, and before we know it we're virtually behind under our sticks. It's just quickly, so it can change so quickly, can't it?
Yeah, it can do, but more than anything I probably won't be dwelling on that too much next week. I'll more focus on the positives, that especially second half we came out into a strong wind, and we controlled that game pretty well.
Yeah, what do you think that was the main thing in the second half, the game control from the likes of Lawrence May, just to put us in the right areas?
Yeah, I thought Loz was good all game. It wasn't just him though. I thought as a team we were much better second half. We still had a few a few moments, you could call it, but in general I thought as a team we were much better, and obviously that stems from your 8, 9 and 10 who I thought second half were very good.
Some serious injuries at the moment, aren't there? But how good was it to get a few boys back? I know Murph came back a couple of weeks ago, but he was back to his best today. Just some boys getting back out there and doing what they do best.
Anyone gets back, they're in the team. Don't worry about that. If they get back, they don't have to wait. So it's part and parcel of the game. We're very fortunate to have a big squad. So as I say, injuries are part and parcel of it. We hope those guys get back as quickly as they can, and we've got a few boys returning in the next coming weeks as well.
Yeah, obviously went behind with about 10-15 minutes to go, and then suddenly just looked like a different team in those last 10 minutes. I mean, the tempo was outstanding. It just kind of came from nowhere when we were behind, but must have been really pleased with the way we closed that one out as well.
Yeah, again, there'll be the little things that we show next week in terms of the positives of when we do that to teams, they struggle to cope with us. So a few of the bits that we spoke about this week will be very relevant over the next coming weeks, and a couple of different tests against the same team coming up.
Do you think that's one of the main positives, that we perhaps weren't at our best, but we've scored 5 tries, got a bonus point win against one of the most informed teams in the league as well?
Yeah, 100%. They haven't lost this year since their first defeat since the turn of the year. For us, I think since the Bedford game, we've really controlled the games really well. So it's the first time we've had to come from behind, and the character they showed out there was outstanding. You
kind of mentioned we've already kind of mentioned the injuries, but how impressed are you with the players that are having to battle through, the likes of Rain, etc., who are just doing 80 minutes after 80 minutes? It's pretty relentless, isn't it?
Oh, they're doing a fantastic job, and that's what you want to be doing as a rugby player. No one wants to be injured. The guys want to be out there playing week in, week out, so full credit to those guys, and we hope the others get back fit as soon as they can.
Back-to-back games against Pirates now. Exciting couple of weeks ahead.
Yeah, they got some very good coaches. They're a very good team. It'll be an interesting to see what the pitch is like down there at this time of year, and then they come back here the following week, so it could be 2 different games, but as always against them, you have to work incredibly hard because they will never stop. They've got a lot of talent, and it's always a very good tactical battle, and one that I'm sure as coaches and players we both will enjoy.